In order to set up an Anchor account and then connect it to your WordPress blog, the first thing you need to do is to get started, and you need to go to anchor.fm/wordpress.com, and you would click on Get Started. If you already are using Anchor, then you'll need to create a new account. Now, ideally, your name and your email would be the same name and email that are connected to your WordPress blog. For example, I'm going to put in my name here, and I'm going to put in this email, which is hidden from you, and then I'm going to choose a password. Click on Sign Up. Before you can publish anything, you'll need to verify that email address with Anchor, and then you can connect your blog. And then you would need to log into WordPress in the way that you would normally do, or once you have verified your email account with Anchor, you should be able to connect by signing into your WordPress account, which will connect the two. I've now switched to a draft version of this blog post in which this video is embedded, and I'm going to preview that. This is still in draft, so it's not the final version, but it's nearly the final version, and I'm going to add this tutorial video and I'm going to embed it in here. And what we do is when we go to publish it, let's go back to edit. So I'm now back in the editing mode in WordPress. So I've added a few tags. I'm going to set my feature image. Which is going to be that one. Okay, and I'm going to publish. And I'm going to publish. And that has temporarily published the post, and as you see, as well as the URL for the post, I have this option here to convert to audio. I'm going to click on create a podcast episode. That will open up my Anchor, and it says one new blog post found, and I'm going to import that, and here it is. And now I'm going to create episode. Now there's two things you can do from here. You can either record this yourself, and by doing that you can click this record button here and you would start recording. How to turn your WordPress blog post into a podcast with Anchor. Let your ideas be heard. You might have noticed that my 3 most recent blog posts have now been turned into an audio version with a link shared within the post. So you can do that. Let's just test that. Button here, and you would start recording. How to turn your WordPress blog post into a podcast with Anchor. Let your ideas be heard. You might have noticed that my 3 most recent blog posts have now been turned into an audio version with a link shared within the post. So you can do that. Let's just test. Okay, but I don't want to do that. What I'm going to do instead is cancel that, and I'm going to select. And if I select automatically convert to audio, I can choose either a female voice.
This is an audio preview of what your blog post could sound like. Anchor is the easiest way to create a podcast.
This is an audio preview of what your blog post could sound like.
I'll select this one because it's male, so it's closer to me, even though I haven't got a US accent. And as it says, this may take a few minutes. And it seems to have finished, and it comes to a running time of 5 minutes and 8 seconds. Let's preview what it sounds like.
How to turn your WordPress blog post into a podcast with Anchor. Let your ideas be heard. You might have noticed that my 3 most recent blog posts have now been turned into an audio version, with a link shared within the posts.
Okay, so that's what it sounds like, and that's how long it took. It took about a minute to convert it. Save and continue. And at this point you can add transitions, music and other things from the library. I'm going to save that episode though. And as I've done with the previous posts, I've got an episode title which can be edited. I've got a description which can also be edited, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to publish it now. Although you can choose a date and a time for it to be published. Publish now. Okay, so that's how it now appears on Anchor. And I can copy the link from that. And I've gone back into editing the blog post. And I'm going to add a link here. I'm going to add the link. So that. And that will also be shared directly or automatically with Spotify. And if I open up Spotify in a browser, I can see all my podcasts here, including the one I've just done.
How to turn your WordPress blog posts into a podcast with Anchor. Let your ideas be heard. You might have noticed that my 3 most recent blog posts have now been turned into an audio version, with a link shared within the posts.